Dynamic Power Cloud Manager. Modern cloud and data center management built for IBM Power. In this session, product manager Christian Heitkamp and business development lead Trent Gregory discuss some of the many features and benefits of DPCM.
Hey, Christian, good afternoon. I hope you're doing well. I've got hearing about this DPCM product, and I heard you were the right person to give me more information and help me understand a little bit more. So,
Sure. Thanks for calling me, Trent. Good to hear from you. Yeah, you got the right address. So, my name is Christian Heitkamp. I'm the product manager for DPCM, which stands for Dynamic Power Cloud Manager. And I'm more than happy to tell you a bit about some things, how it's working and how our customers are using it. So, key is really that if you have like a IBM Power environment, that typically consists of tons of different machines, highly complex. So, if you're not such a fan of the console and going and typing in all the commands on the HMC and the CLI line on the line there, so you want to have some graphical modern web app that does that all for you. So that's basically DPCM. It allows you to set up new AIX systems, IBM systems, Linux systems, and allows to back up them, has monitoring, and all those great features you want to have. So let me know if you have any questions. More than happy to answer them.
well, no, that sounds interesting. One question I heard that IBM is coming out with new versions of the power systems, and I know many of today's uh, companies are still using the IBM Power systems as part of their mission critical operations.
Yeah, mission critical it is, right? Everybody who requires like really mission critical systems relies on the power infrastructure. This brings especially our clients into focus that are in the insurance and banking industry, telecom communication, and also the technology companies. So that are really important for who is really important to have a solid and always running systems. So IBM Power just released a new generations with IBM Power 10. So, and this really brings a lot of momentum. And while everybody looks at these IBM Power 10 systems, they're planned to actually bring them into market next year. So the first systems were released already this year. So in Germany, they deployed IBM Power 10 systems at a larger financial institution already. And the year 2022 will be the year of IBM Power 10.
Wow, that's interesting that they're continuing to do the investments and further the platform. With regards to DPCM, you talked about monitoring. Can you tell me a little more details about that, the functionality?
Sure. Yeah, like imagine you have your environment with like Power 8 and Power 9 systems. It's like highly complex. You got a lot of different systems on there, and you actually need to decide like how many Power 10 systems do I need right now, right? You can't obviously have like a best guess but best is obviously to measure currently how your current infrastructure is used. And that's why the monitoring comes into play. Not just for keeping the lights on, because that's really basic and we've all got that, but it's more like about capacity planning, understanding where your load is, which are the systems that are really running hot, and how do you want to shift load around in your data center. And then with the monitoring, you can look at the CPUs, the memory, the storage underneath, and do a very good founded planning for the next steps of Power 10. So when you bring Power 10 in there, you actually know also how much more performant the environment is, and you can actually measure both environments against each other. So this monitoring is really a cornerstone of DPCM, but it is only one feature out of many.
Well, yeah, no, that sounds like from the monitoring perspective that a lot of speed and efficiency savings and cost savings to customers in both the short term and in the long term. Um, from a
Yeah, exactly.
standardization
Maybe
perspective.
Trent for the monitoring. It is and plays into standardization as well. So it's we can, but imagine you have like a system that you ordered or one of your colleagues ordered to run on Power, like they're requesting a new SQL server running on DB2 databases, and obviously they say, I need the biggest and most powerful virtual server you can give me, Trent, like 10 virtual CPUs, 128 gigabyte of RAM, and obviously you provision that. You click here the new VM button, you provision it to them, and then obviously you find out after a week for the monitoring that they're actually using like 5% of the capacity. So up body, obviously they're paying like the 100%, or they're using the
Yeah.
100%, blocking all the other resources. So with this correct monitoring, you can actually then say, well, actually we need to tune that load. You actually need only 5%, and maybe you have a spike. You then bring it down to 25% of what you need. So, and you really have a lot of cost savings. So, and that also
Wow.
plays into standardization, where you actually can give defined standard templates that you agree on a set of, let's say, operating system versions like Red Hat or SUSE, certain versions, AX, and so on, and offer them in terms of a catalog offering or service catalog offering to be used. So not everybody can use whatever Ubuntu and CentOS systems they want to have, but actually you follow a strict line on systems you can allow to deploy in your environment. So that actually helps a lot, like bringing control in your IBM Power environment.
Wow, that's no, that's standard. That's very important as well. I hear about automation a lot. That a lot of companies throw that around, but really, it doesn't live up to the hype that they're producing. What about automation with DPCM?
Yeah, DPCM became really important to DPCM, all the automation part. So let's take, for example, the use case that somebody needs to provision a new virtual machine or a new virtual server, and it typically involves a couple of steps where you can actually automate them. Like you have typically a portal where you can request like a new resource, a new system, and they will just like go next through a wizard, and then somebody needs to approve that, and then it will ending it at somebody in a ticket queue. Somebody has to do that. But why give it actually to somebody to do it? Why not automate that? Why not create automatically that storage? Why not create automatically that new virtual machine server there? So that's basically what we do. But it's not only automating new systems, but let's, for example, automate like application installation, automate resizing of systems. There are a lot of examples, and DPCM is built on Ansible. So it uses basic Ansible in the backend, and you can create whatever number of playbooks you want to do, which basically gives the steps what to do, and run them against DPCM API, and basically fully automate this, and will give you a lot of free time to enjoy your coffee. So or walk with your dog, actually, Trent, right?
Well,
So
no,
yeah.
that actually is very sounds very powerful. I mean, in addition, I think I heard you talk about compliance and disaster recovery. Uh, what give me a little more details about DPCM when it comes to those areas.
Yeah, actually, I can tell a short story about this, because there are some customers who just purchased DPCM because of that. So there was that case that we have a customer that actually had a disaster where one data center completely burned down. So, and then it took them 2 weeks like to start everything up, and they said this is not acceptable to have a downtime of 2 weeks, right? This is completely not acceptable. So, and then they actually found our solution and they put it in place, and luckily another data center didn't burn down, but they could test the disaster case by complete shutdown of one site, and they could restart the whole thing within an hour. So this
Wow.
is based on the architecture of DPCM, because we store the entire data center configuration in a separate database. So we have like basically a layout of the data center with all the permissions, with all the LPARs, with the configuration, everything of what is on there we have actually saved. And whenever, as long as this database is available, you can actually relaunch your whole data center from scratch based with that data. So, and that's all metadata, and obviously the storage typically is there. This is redundant and then brings this back. So, and this is just one example. Disaster recovery also is like goes into the area of backup and recovery. So the product includes backup and recovery for AIX and Linux, and especially you can very fast restore your systems. And that's actually what something is quite difficult with traditional tools, to actually restore a system very quickly. So that's very easy with the DPCM. It's a matter of clicks, and you wait a couple of minutes and the system is back online.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, here's the most important question. How easy is it to use? Historically, when I think of power systems, you think of the old green screens and really detailed information. Is it are you using a modern web front end for that?
You've got it, exactly. So we've got basically a really latest and greatest React web technologies on the web front end. It's just responsive web design. You can run it on your tablet, on your smartphone, or you can have it on your computer screen. So wherever you like, and it's very intuitive. So that somebody who's not familiar with power systems, not familiar with TDY consoles, not familiar with putty and all the tools you need for logging in, they can just like open it in their browser, in their web app, and just log in with single sign-on, click around, and it's really very, we made it very intuitive, like that somebody who comes like really from a cloud native world where they know how to start and stop VMs, how to create systems, provision systems, and start like really feel familiar and at home with that. So that in case like you don't have anybody for power right at hand, you can take somebody from another team and say, well, this tool actually allows you to do that as well. And it has auditing built in, many user roles. So it is really simple and intuitive to use. So we have persons that actually just log in and try it out, and they find, well, this is cool. And that's really good. Yeah.
When what I'm hearing here is that it's, this is not a series of a bunch of different products. It's under a common platform, one product set. Am I correct in that assessment?
Yeah, exactly. So we also call it kind of a Swiss Army knife, right? Like really like a toolbox in one. So, but it's like one console. You don't need to go from one tool to another to do backup. You go to another one to set up the system. No, it's all in one. So it's everything in one environment where you can work in. So, which gives a lot of value because you don't need to open different systems. You do need to copy paste names from one to another. And obviously errors might happen if you have system A and system B and they don't synchronize, right? Here, everything is built in one. You're correct. So this is really helpful.
Wow, that's amazing. And the thing that I can take to and discuss with customers is that not only is this the wonderful product, but it's backed by we're part of Axians, which is a global company with you know many customers worldwide, and so I know that they can go. This DPCM, as you said, has many customers, and it's been proven for many years. And then it's backed by a strong company that's well known throughout the world. So that is really something amazing. And I greatly appreciate your time on this. Is certainly has been exceptionally helpful. Is there a place? I know we have a website. But maybe that perhaps that if someone wanted to try it out, that they could go and either do a trial
Yeah,
of the
sure.
software.
Sure, Trent. I just added it, and I also put it up here on the back of my screen. So if you look up
Ah,
here, so this is right over here. So you can scroll down. There's a lot of information on there, but we actually call it the Power Experience Center, right? So you can just create yourself a login and try around the product. So without actually bringing anything into your environment. So it's really simple. So we try to make it easy also to onboard. So yes, it is. So, and as you said, we have a large number of customers in different places. So, and Axions itself is present in over 23 countries, and it's growing actually.
well, that's amazing. and that website is DPCM .io, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Correct. Oh, perfect. Well, thank you, Christian. I mean, this is incredibly informative, and I am now excited to learn more. And perhaps if I have more questions, I'll be either go to the website or maybe give you a call in the future.
Sure, call me whenever you like. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and wish you a great rest of your day.
All right. Thank you, my friend.